Delightful Strangers.
That's Casey.
That's Glenn, and we are Stranger Are You Smiling? We stretched it out.
We did. Yeah, oh man, should do a cool effect on that. So, we are adults.
We are.
Today we are adults.
Years old. So.
But we weren't always years old. We were once children, and a big part of my childhood was playing lots and lots of video games. Now,
a big part of my childhood was being jealous of people who had video games and systems.
Yeah, cool. So as I've gotten older, I've gotten out of it a little bit. Maybe I should work on that. But
as I've gotten older, I, for a while, was playing them much more.
Okay, interesting. So we thought today we would talk about video games. And share some of our thoughts with you guys. So you didn't play a lot of games when you were younger, right?
No.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because like we were. It might have just been because we were poorer than I realized when I was young, or it might have just been that my parents really were way more into creative play, which is fine. But I did not have a lot of video games growing up. We had Reader Rabbit on the computer, which is every bit as exciting as it sounds. And then sometimes I could play, my cousins Jackson and Jesse both had like Nintendos, and I think Jesse had a Sega and things.
I think we all went to a friend's house or a birthday party where somebody had some system that were like, what? See, because like we both grew up sort of in the golden age, I would think, of video games where they like went from like barely existing. They did exist, but they were...
There was suddenly a glut of them.
Yeah, they got much better very quickly. So there's a staple of my childhood being like Mario Brothers that started and then kept growing with you.
I used to watch the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Supio Brothers.
Where the guy at the end, he was like, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, let's go do the Mario. And he like falls at the end. I mean, he doesn't. He just like stumbles, and apparently that was their one take. So that was all they got.
We got no time. Yeah. We got no time for any more. Another game, probably, and like I know a lot of you guys are like hardcore gamers, and you're gonna like shred us on some facts and stuff. So apologies in advance for the stuff that I get wrong. But one of the probably the best games that I wasn't great at was Zelda. I remember Zelda being pretty sweet of a game, but I remember having some complications with it. Did you ever play Zelda? Run around with little swords.
I am familiar with Zelda.
Yeah.
I did not play it because again that one was just, I don't know, maybe my cousins wouldn't let me play it because they were like had a full set of hearts and
you get the gold cartridge
and everything. But I do remember
you put a Nintendo in there.
It was really violent.
They know what I'm talking about.
I did watch the Zelda cartoon show as well, and what I mainly remember from that was Link. They tried to give him a catchphrase, which was an interesting choice for a silent character, but he will excuse me, princess.
Nothing says Zelda other than, like that.
Yeah, and so I was actually pretty surprised when I don't know if it was my little cousin or one of my kids at daycare or something when I was watching the game. And of course this was a later generation of the game, but I was like, this is really lovely. And Zelda is, Link is not a douche, as I had previously assumed he was.
Williams, our filmmaking buddy and good friend, I think he has a dream of making a Zelda movie.
Oh, he should.
Yeah, he like really wants to make a Zelda movie.
He would be really good at that.
So
studio executives, are you listening to
you guys are watching,
Smiling?
Right?
We're focus grouping this for you.
So probably the most important game in my entire history is going to be Mortal Kombat. Finish him and all that stuff. Yeah, Mortal Kombat like changed my life. That's like probably around the peak of me wanting to go to the arcade, which even meant just like Walmart to play games, which my parents did not care for too much.
Which you're also like weirdly good at it.
Oh yeah, I played it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like pretty awesome at it. Not trying to brag.
Our improv mate Carlton Wall and I played a game
did.
of Mortal Kombat on a TV that the color and it was tilted, so we couldn't really see how far apart we were. So most of our game was just this. It was like.
Didn't you both just do like the weakest? Like they were both like ankle kicking each other.
He like ankle kicked me at the end just when I happened to be out of strength, and basically he was like, my character just like flew through the air and spurted blood all over the place.
It's very Shakespearean.
Yeah.
So Mortal Kombat was pretty huge in my development as a person. Also, there's a lot of violence in the games that I really enjoyed.
I did mention that I had a computer, and my parents did once get me a computer game, and it was called Curse of the Catacombs.
I think I played that.
And it was like the most violent, horrific game. Like, it's a first-person game. Like, the only thing you ever see of your character is if you shoot a fireball at something, your hand will come up on screen. And other than that, it's just watching your enemies die horrifically. I feel like my parents probably regretted it immediately, like the first time they saw me shoot one of the big blue monsters that exploded and left, like, entrails dangling over its legs. But joke's on them.
You're so balanced now.
Yeah, I am.
Played a lot of Doom. Wolfenstein was pre-Doom, I think. You're talking about first-person shooters and whatnot.
I've been playing a game called Until Dawn recently, which is interesting because it's like an interactive horror movie.
Ooh, that's cool.
And I'm supposed to be trying to keep everyone alive to the end, and I've already gotten one of my friends killed, so we'll see how that goes.
There's a lot of parallels between video games and adulthood because it just like brings you right into that threshold of becoming a man or a woman. And I think there's nothing more prototypical to that other than Sonic the Hedgehog. Because in Sonic the Hedgehog, I would be enjoying it and I love the speed, and
Momentum.
stuff. Yes, momentum.
Tons of rings.
That's where the adult comes in. Every time you were hit, he'd go, and you would lose all your money.
That is like adulthood.
All your rings would just go, and you're like, holy hell, man. Like, I worked really hard for those rings, and then the tax man comes and takes them all away from me.
Or like the battery in your truck dies, and suddenly all your rings are gone.
All your rings are gone.
That's happened to both of us in the last month.
Yeah, so like, exactly, both of us. Both coming back from trips to our dead cars. And then when you look at us, and it's like, we both go...
Yep, and rings just
shoot out of our bodies, so...
just go flying. So maybe we should make, like, some more adult video games. Not adult as in, sexual. I just mean, like, oh no, the timer's on. You've got until this time to pay your electricity bill.
Oh no, the meatloaf's gonna burn. And the world will end together simultaneously.
Oh no, you asked your spouse how their day was, and they said fine, but they said it really tersely, and they're not looking at you. Do you ask again, or do you give them their space?
I think kids would love this.
I think it would prepare them. Another
game that I played, it also ties into adulthood, is called, well, you guys know it, SimCity, back in the day. Of course, it was a computer game, but there was also a version on Super Nintendo you could play. I played this later in life, when you go retro and you buy the old system just for fun. So I did that, and it was a good call. And I learned that you could have your city, and you could raise the taxes whenever you wanted, but the people would be upset. So what you would do is, like, every year, like in December, you would just raise it up to like 100% tax rate, and they'd give you all the money, and then in January you just lower it. So they were happy all year, and then you got like a ton of money, which you could use to buy them things.
I played The Sims themselves and discovered that you might be a great politician, but I am a terrible god.
Why?
Well, for one thing, I killed like half my neighborhood because like the first thing that you do playing Sims as an adult is you try and get your Sim laid. That's part of the goal, and I had this whole like roaring fireplace bearskin rub seduction thing set up, and then I started a monstrous house fire, and
it really caught on fire?
A lot of us died.
Oh man.
And then I tried to move a new Sim into the house and tried to get her to, but like then you just had random Sims coming by to mourn. Like
it's a shrine or something?
Yeah, they'll come and just
to burn down the house?
Yeah.
The rug?
And I made a very
interesting.
A very career-oriented Sim that then was too depressed to look for a job.
Nice.
Why?
I played Sims very briefly because I was bad at it.
I also made a Sim serial killer.
Nice.
Go ahead.
My Sim, this is what I remember, so I could be exaggerating, but I remember my Sim, he was a police officer, which I figured out because I didn't know how to move him through doors. I don't know. I was really bad at it, and I couldn't get him out of the house, like literally. So a cop car pulls up, and it was like, I knew for some reason that he was my partner. But I couldn't get out of the house, so he finally drove off.
Oh man!
And my guy got depressed and went to bed, and he lost his job apparently. And a couple days go by, me still not being able to just get him out through doors. And then another car shows up, which was clearly like a robber, So now my sim had gone from being a police officer to a petty
turn
criminal.
into a life of crime. Are you sure the robber wasn't just there to rob him?
No, I think he also waited a certain amount of time and then drove off in a
Okay.
very angry
Wow,
fashion.
that's sad. You lost your job as a thief. So what were some of you guys' favorite games? Did you ever have any fun experiences or stories playing them? Which one do you think has influenced you the most? Let us know in the comments. Final thought. Hashtag computers can be violent too.
Judgment Day.
Just in case y'all hadn't seen Terminator.
I was going to say Terminator. I'm going to go with hashtag game on.
Nice.
Because that's appropriate. All right.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and watch our page for updates. Goodbye, beautiful strangers.
Oh, strangers.
And remember...
Hey, excuse me, princess. Well, excuse me, princess. Hey, excuse me, princess. Hey, excuse me, princess. Hey, excuse me, princess.
Glenn, put more clothes on.
No.